Hi everyone, my name is Patricia, or some of you might know me as Trish. I'm an ESOL teacher, or some of you might know me as a teacher that teaches English as a second language. And today I'm going to do a presentation for you on English as a second language and go through just some of the basics with you. Okay, so when you're learning any language, whether it's English, whether it's French, whether it's German, communication is key. And you can see at the moment, or you can more hear at the moment, that I am speaking quite slowly. And the reason I'm speaking slowly is because some of you that are listening are only starting to learn English. And eventually, you might hear me speaking a little bit quicker. This is when you're listening to some of my videos down the road. You listen to some of my videos that are a little bit quicker, they're a little bit faster. But what you're listening to at the moment is me speaking slower so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay. It is really it's really important to listen, to speak English. So you're listening to English, speaking English, and that can be with a friend, it can be with a colleague at work, and it's important to read English and to write English. All of these are important if you want to learn English, if you want to become fluent in the language. Okay, so I'm going to bring you through them and give you some key tips on how to do that. Okay. So first of all, we're going to see how you can listen to people speaking in English and understand what they are saying. So we're going to see, or I'm going to tell you, should I say, some tips about listening. When you're at work, it's very important that you're listening to your colleagues. Sometimes you mightn't understand everything they're saying because they won't be speaking as slowly as I am. But if you can understand some of what they're saying, that is really important. And it is really important also that you can apply meaning to what they're saying. So sometimes they might be speaking and you can understand sometimes some of the words, but their body language is also important. So if they have a cross face or if they're smiling, you can tell they're happy. So they're speaking about something happy. Or if they have a cross face, they could be speaking about something they're angry about. So body language is important as well. So that's where active listening comes in. You can understand their body language, and when they're listening, you can understand what a person is saying and how they're feeling. They can help, this can be helpful at work, with family, and with friends. It can be really helpful. Body language is key to listening. Eventually, don't worry if you don't understand what everyone is saying. Sometimes, if they're speaking too quickly, you will not understand. But over time, with practice, you will. What I would do, and what I have done in my classes, is there are websites that will help you. And I would show you those websites in some of my videos going along the way. I will show you those websites that have exercise on them. Exercises, they're listening exercises, and they can be conversations in a restaurant, they can be conversations in a workspace, they can be conversations at a doctor's, they can be someone giving instructions, and they are really good listening exercises. You will start to build your vocabulary by listening, and you'll understand it more because it's in a context. It's at a doctor's, at a cafe, at a restaurant, it's at a workplace, and sometimes it can be at home. So you know the different areas and what is happening and what it's about. Speaking English is the second part of communication. Speaking English is important so that you can socialize with your friends and your family, and also so that you can work. You need to be able to speak English at work so your colleagues can understand what you are saying. It is also important to practice speaking English and continue to do so when you start to improve your range of vocabulary and pronunciation. To become fluent in English, you need to continue to speak English on a daily basis. Having said that, it is still important to remember your own language. So I always say to the people that I'm teaching in my classes that maybe it is good to speak your own language once a week or twice a week, 1 day a week, 2 days a week, but make sure to speak English most of the time. At times, if you have children who speak English, and they will usually be able to speak English fluently, or a friend at work, this can help to develop your sentences and your pronunciation. My rule when I start teaching my classes is that they are to speak English only. My classes usually last for about 12 weeks, and during those 12 weeks, it is English only, apart from the day or two that they may like to speak their own language, of course. The next area when it comes to communications is reading. Reading will help you see how text in English applies to different situations. For example, if you're reading instructions, you might be learning how to make something or bake something. You might be reading road signs to learn how to drive or for directions. You might be reading books for information, and you also might be reading books because you like to read stories. And any vocabulary, when you're reading, if you don't understand certain vocabulary and you find it difficult, make sure that you underline these words and you can look them up. This is very important that you look up these words, and you can even translate them into your own language so that you can understand them and be able to put them into a context. All reading pieces have a purpose. They can be fact or fiction. It is also important that when you're here in Ireland or any other country that speaks English, that you read the newspaper headlines. These can be a good start for understanding different types of vocabulary when it comes to facts and anything that's happening around the areas that you live in or the country that you're living in. The final area when it comes to communication is writing. Writing will help you develop your vocabulary. It will also help you to read over your sentences and look at the structure of them. You will be able to look at your grammar, your spelling, and your punctuation. For example, you will see a sentence here, and it says, he go to town. Town is spelt incorrectly. It is spelled T-W-N. It should be spelled T-O-W-N. The sentence is also, he go to town, when it should be, he went to town. And it should have a full stop at the end. These all show grammar, spelling, and punctuation, and how important they are when it comes to a sentence and the structure of a sentence. Reading your writing out loud to yourself will help you listen and hear any mistakes that you have made, and this will also help you with your speaking. It is very important to remember that when you are communicating, all 4 areas are connected. And it is also important to remember that practice makes perfect. So don't be disappointed in yourself if you feel like that you are not getting on well, or if you're finding it difficult over the first few weeks. That is completely normal. You have to practice. It will take at least up to 6 months for you to start seeing a major difference. Each area will develop over time. It is also important to maybe think of doing a part-time course in beginners or continuation English. After the course, it will still be important to use the skills you have learned and continue speaking English. Also, when it comes to listening to English, you might like to listen to the radio. You might also, when it comes to reading English, you might like to turn on the subtitles on your TV and read the subtitles whilst you're watching a TV program in English. That way, you're also listening to English and you're reading English at the same time. And eventually, you may not need the subtitles. These are just some tips on how your English will improve over time. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and I'd like to thank you for watching. My next video will be coming soon and will focus on grammar. And I will also have some links to some grammar worksheets that will be easy to download for free. And I will also have some links to some listening videos that will be also easy to download for free. I would like to thank you for watching again. If you could please give my video a like and subscribe to my online channel. Thank you. Bye.